And you have to know that you're exclusive and that how you carry yourself definitely plays a part on how guys treat you. Do you know the secret to attracting a provider? I'm going to tell you, ladies, it all comes with having the right mindset. Today on The Glam Effect, we're going to be going over ways on how to set boundaries and standards and how to attract that provider as a high value woman. Setting standards and boundaries for yourself is very critical when it comes to dating, and I always encourage all the baddies out there to always stand on business when it comes to men. And before we get started into this convo, I want to say thank you for being here on The Glam Effect. It's your girl Glam, and if y'all are interested in just, following up with me, subscribe to my channel and like this video after I give y'all the tea. And one thing I want y'all to know too, I'm not one of those creators who make content over things that I'm not familiar with. I am one of them girlies who is proof in the pudding that setting boundaries and standards really works out for you. And I'm gonna put in my clip right here.
Talk about beautiful. I love you.
I love you too.
A few years ago, I got engaged in Paris by my fiance, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so important to set standards and boundaries for yourself, baddies, to attract the man of your dreams, okay? Because men are very thought out, okay? And they're very calculated. So you have to be very particular on how you're moving and how you carry yourself, because how you represent yourself and carry yourself definitely will attract a certain type of man. And I know in our generation, some women are in this mindset, is like in their egos, like, I can attract whatever man I want by carrying themselves a certain way. But honey, I'm telling you right now, you have to have a boss bitch mentality to get this shit right with men, okay? You have to have that confidence within. Men can read a low confidence woman. I promise you that. So step number one, build your confidence up. That is step number one. Men can smell when a woman is low confidence, okay? Who has low self-esteem. I recommend y'all ladies to work on y'all confidence every day, and honestly work on self-healing within yourself, because it doesn't matter. These tips are not going to work if you don't have love for yourself and you're really not that bitch at heart and you don't believe you are. Because honestly, to attract a high value man, you have to be a high value woman. So you need to be implementing the steps to show up as her. So I definitely would recommend to build your confidence first, for foremost. Like, work on yourself. If that means that you need to go work out, work out. If that means that you need to say, self-love affirmations every day, do that. Speak positive words into yourself, okay? If that means that you need to go to therapy, okay? If that means that you need to heal childhood trauma, go do that. If that means that you need to work on your spirituality, do that. If that means that you have to honor, goddesses, do that as well. Implement different things within yourself to make sure you're healing yourself and building your confidence daily. Because yes, you don't want to attract weak men because you're weak inside. Because honestly, I don't feel like a lot of dating coaches really just push this narrative. I feel like a lot of them sell a fake false dream to you, but a lot of times it's the hard truth. You attract who you are, and a lot of times when you meet people, they're mirroring the person that you haven't healed, okay, which is the person inside. So I beg you, please, baddies, to go build your confidence before trying to implement these tips, okay? Because it's not going to work if you're not that girl within. And regardless, you have to work on that confidence. Like, that's the first tip I'ma always preach, because that is needed. Work on yourself and build your confidence, because even if you do attract a man that's not on your vibration, eventually you will attract the right man, and I promise you that. So build your confidence is key. And with building your confidence, always remember that, like, a woman that's confident, she's feminine, she's soft, she's well dressed, well groomed, She always keeps herself up nice. She's intelligent. You could put her in any space and she thrives. She's, you know, she's a well-rounded individual, and she's just that girl. She's a goddess. A man loves a soft or like, you know, sexy goddess. Like, be confident and take up space. Confidence is so sexy, and a lot of high value men love a woman who can give herself validation. Okay, that is key with building your confidence. So a woman with confidence knows her worth, and she moves strategically, and she takes nothing from no one. Okay, she doesn't tolerate the bullshit because she has confidence to know that if it wasn't for me, you know, I'm going to end up attracting something else. She takes no bullshit, and she stands on her boundaries. And if a guy is not doing right by her, or, you know, reaching those goals within the standards she sets because she's confident, she has no problem with disconnecting and getting another man. Because what? She's unreplaceable, and she's that bitch, so she can attract another high value man. Okay? She's the prize. Now we're going to get on why setting standards matters. Okay? Because it definitely matters. Like, setting standards and boundaries is so key with aligning with the right people, because it literally removes people that is not on your vibration, and you're able to attract them what is needed be. Like, if you're not wasting time on people that don't align, eventually you will attract the ones that do. And also, with just being stern on your boundaries and things of that nature, guys will know that there is a time period where you're going to have to reveal yourself, because you're always making them work for your worth. I'm not saying that you have to be a bitch, but you do need to know, they do need to know that you're not to be played with, or you would detach. Okay? And also, I do recommend with setting boundaries and things of that nature, do not deal with inconsistent men. I feel like that's the worst men to even deal with. If he doesn't respect the boundaries and standards that you implement in the beginning of your relationship, and he doesn't respect those things, after the first time, you need to detach, because men literally know what they're doing and who to play with. And if you give men multiple times to play in your face, they don't respect the fact that you even had those standards, because it's like you're not standing on business, you're not standing on your word. And men definitely would try to test you if they feel like you're a weak link. So I feel like never be afraid to detach and cut a nigga off, for real. Like, any man off, you know, it's so important. And I feel like you should never feel bad for having self-love for yourself and pouring into yourself and making sure people around you pour into you as well. Like, I don't know why this generation make people feel bad because they have standards. I feel like this generation really lacks that, especially when it comes to women, because they just take anything. Men are not, it's some women out here that don't even require men to take them on dates anymore. Okay, it's so freaking easy. Women have lost their power and they're over sexualized. And I feel like when you're in a position and knowing your worth and just knowing that you want marriage, you want to be a fiance, you want to have a family, you want to attract the right man, it's so important to have those standards and boundaries. Also, with having standards and boundaries, don't get pregnant with men until they earn your womb. Okay? Do not get pregnant, because while you're trying to implement these steps, and if you don't really know the person, it is so, like, it's terrible to get pregnant by these men because you're not standing on your boundaries. So what I recommend when it comes to figuring out what are your standards and things of that nature, journal out what you're looking for in a high value man. Okay? What are you looking for? What is his like? What is he like? What is his career? How is his character? You know, what does he look like? How well groomed is he? Like, write down what you're looking for, the green flags in a man, and then from there, put yourself in a position to be an asset as well. And I promise you, if you work on yourself and become the very best, highest version of yourself, eventually you will attract the high value man you need to. And I'm going to say, ladies, being classy, okay, and how you carry yourself is key with attracting a high value man. We live in a generation where we have social media, and these men do look at y'all Instagram, TikTok, and all, you know, Twitter accounts and things of that nature. And if you're trying to portray yourself as you're this classy woman, make sure that you align with that, with your image and how you carry yourself. Okay? Because Representation is so important with setting boundaries and standards. If you're on the internet looking like a cheap hoe, no offense, I'm sorry y'all, I have to be your big sister. If you're on the internet looking, is giving cheap, you know, and you requiring all of this stuff out of guys, no man is going to take you serious. Like, especially if you are easy accessible. If you don't give exclusive energy off, if you don't keep yourself up really nice, and you really have that confidence inner, like, in your heart, men can point that out, okay? They know who to play with. So I do recommend, ladies, when you set these boundaries and standards, and make sure your representation aligns for the standards that y'all are having for this man, and be realistic. Like, being authentic too will also help with setting boundaries and standards and being realistic, because I feel like a lot of times women have these unrealistic expectations of guys, and they don't even be having their shit together. Like, be fucking for real. So make sure you're an asset and you're always working on yourself so you can attract the right provider man. Make a man earn your trust, and make a man show you consistency. Like, those are the two things I really feel like a man should implement in the beginning. Like, that shows the character over on the man, and I feel like y'all shouldn't take that for granted, okay? People can only be fake for so long, and you should also be paying attention and preserve information and make men earn your trust and loyalty. How to set standards without being a bitch. So I would say that, like, if you're dating a guy and at first, you know, you're just getting to know them, if you vibe out with them and see that they can be a potential partner, I feel like it's best that you have a good conversation with them and let them know what you're looking for, and be very honest and authentic with them, okay? In a kind, gentle way. I feel like with being in your feminine energy and working on yourself, it's just easy for you to attract a high value man, you know what I'm saying? And like, allowing yourself to be vulnerable when it comes to your expectations and the things that you really want is so key when it comes to just creating a relationship in general. That could be with friendship as well. Like, just communicate your standards and see if y'all have, you know, the same morals, principles, and the same goals in life, because that's that's key when building these relationships. And also, just be understanding and listen to men, you know, the man that you're trying to pursue, and understand his side as well. I'm reading my notes, y'all, so don't judge me, because I don't want to miss nothing. And communicate your expectations. Like, for instance, when I was dating my fiance, in the beginning, you know, he ended up, let me tell y'all a story, because I'm just gonna get into it. I never got into this. So first off, when I met my fiance, we met off of Instagram, okay? And he was in my DMs for a little while, and I was ignoring him, I'm gonna be honest, because I didn't know him like that. And this was in 2018, where I wasn't just meeting people off of Instagram. And I knew he didn't stay in Houston, Texas, because that's where I'm from, the H. And I knew he didn't stay in Houston, and I was like zooming in on his pictures. I seen his license plates, and it said Tennessee. So like, I was like, I'm not finna talk to no guy who not finna be flying me out, who not finna like really take me serious, because I knew at the time I was looking for something a little serious. And I usually don't like dealing with guys long distance, because I don't feel like those are really like realistic relationships, especially at the age we were. So I ignored him for a little while. I was like hearting his messages and whatnot. I just hearted him. Like, I wasn't overly happy and impressed, because he was in my DMs for a little while, and I was ignoring him until like one day I was like, let me give this guy a chance, because he had sent me a message and said, one day you're gonna be mine. And I was like, nigga, what made you say that, or whatever. And girl, when I tell you, we end up getting each other number, and we've been together since then. We 7 years in. Like, what? You cannot tell us anything. Like, we met each other on Instagram, but at the beginning of our relationship, he was flying me out to Tennessee all the time. And after a few times, I was like, hey, what we finna do? Because at the time, I was finna like get a new apartment. I was finna sign a new lease. And I was like, what we finna be doing? Like, we're gonna just be traveling back and forth, or are we gonna make this stuff official? Like, I don't want to play games, and I know what I'm looking for. And I already had told him like what I was looking for. I wanted to get engaged. This is my standards if we were to live together. And I'm telling him I'm not gonna get pregnant until I am fully married, and I'm not gonna be doing wifey things until I'm engaged. Like, and he respected the fact that I said that. Like, I set boundaries early in our relationship, and I've always did that with any guy I've ever dealt with. Like, I never played games when it came to men. It was nothing for me to walk out of nigga life. I would be quick. If I felt like he was being too disrespectful, our values didn't align, and he was disrespecting me or being low vibrational, I would be the fuck out. You're not going to be stressing me out and taking me out of my feminine energy. And also, I don't play games with guys. Because what I realized about men, they will tag you along if you allow them to, and if you're not stern. And you can do it in a feminine way and tell them like, I like you and stuff like that, but I don't feel like our values align, and disconnect from them like in a classy manner. They can't do nothing but respect it. But if you let them know up front what you're looking for and communicate that, they'll have an idea of how to play along, at least play along until they like, okay, I can't. But give them in a time period too to meet your expectations. Don't give them too many pass alongs, and don't let them bend your standards. Do not. Common mistakes that women make when setting standards. I'm going to say being too passive is one thing. Allowing people to walk over your boundaries because of fear of rejection. Like, women be allowing men to just walk over them due to the fact that they're getting love bombed, or they just feel like, oh, he's going to change later on. No, the hell he's not. Stop being passive and stand on your boundaries. And that a lot of women just settle for less. They settle for everything a guy gives them. Like, they come in a situation, they hardcore, then they just settle for whatever the guy gives, because now the man has made you feel like he's unreplaceable, and he's love bummed you. So no, do not fall for the tricks of these men that they play. They play a lot of games, and only the strong survive, okay? Especially to keep a high value man and get respect for them, you literally cannot play games with them. Also, lack of clarity. Like, how unclear standards can be for yourself and your potential partners. Like, you have to have clarity in situations, and having clarity could mean you to be walking away from their ass and be like, this is just not working for me, but I enjoyed this experience, and I enjoyed your company. I like you as a person, but I don't feel like you're a potential partner for me. Like, but with clarity, giving them the respect needed to detach, and communicating that you no longer want to see them anymore. Also, I feel like as a woman, like, it's okay to be selfish when it comes to your essence, your presence, and your energy. You are a gift. You are a goddess, and you really have to know that about yourself. Like, when you're in a man's life, especially when you're a high value woman, him just experience your energy is a gift, okay? Because if you're bringing peace, beautifulness, good energy, you got good character, that positive energy implements his life as well. And you have to know that you're exclusive, and that how you carry yourself definitely plays a part on how guys treat you. But also, when you know that you're exclusive and you're this goddess, like, you don't settle for less, bro. We're not settling for less anymore, goddesses. Like, you really have to know that you that girl, and you have to stand strong on them damn boundaries. Like, I'm not playing with y'all. Like, stand on business. A lot of things could be prevented if more women had the confidence just to walk away. It don't matter if you knew that dude for 3, 4. I don't care. If my man hurting me super bad, I would be out the goddamn door too. I'm about self-love and respect, and I love myself more than any man. My man knows this. So you really got to be like that with these men. You have to love yourself more than them. It's like, it has to be that way, or a motherfucker gonna play in your face. Like, for real. Like, they're gonna play in your face. Like, for real. So stand on business with these men, and just work on yourself and be an asset, okay? Because the more you are of value as a woman, you definitely can attract a better man. Like, I honestly would say to decenter man, to really just attract what you need to attract. Like, be an asset, be focused on your goals, have something going for yourself, have your own money, You know what I'm saying? Like, have stuff going for yourself to where you're not always needing approval from men, because men know when you don't have any motion, and they know when they can utilize you or when they can pour into you. So it could be a power control thing. Like, so make sure you always are focused on your future. Girl, go get you a degree, start that business, do anything you need to do to elevate yourself. Don't ever settle for less. Like, always be willing to work on yourself and to allow a man to know that with or without you, the boat gonna keep going, okay? Nobody stopping motion over here. So, also, like I said before, be an asset, okay? When you're an asset, a guy knows that, and he don't want to, like, mess up things because he know you add value to his life. Especially if you have your own things going on, and you're, like, being a positive advantage to his life. You making things easier for him. Like, if he dumb, he gonna fuck things up. But if he not, he gonna be like, damn, I need that feminine energy. I need that peace. She gives me great advice. She's always there for me. You know, she always make me feel good. When I leave her, I feel recharged. Men love that. She always support me. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're an asset to not only yourself, but him as well, to where he can't get that vibe from nowhere else. Because especially if you have a personality and you have humor and things that way, men might fuck up, but for the good women who, you know, were good to them, they always remember you. It don't matter how long y'all, you know, stop talking to each other. If you're an asset and you was good to somebody, even the smallest thing, you know, that they think about you on, they'll always think about how you was a good person to them, and then eventually you will attract the man that you need to attract. So yeah, be an asset, ladies. Be that bitch, and like, be stern with these men. And if you're a high value woman, eventually you're gonna attract a high value man. And don't play around with these motherfuckers, because they will play with you in your face if you allow them. And the first chance they have to play in your face, you need to be out the fucking door. Do not have kids with these men, and go for the ring. That's what I'm going to say. Be a high value woman, stand on business, and never feel ashamed for knowing your self-worth and having pride in yourself. And ladies, I'm going to be sharing some more videos about, you know, dating tips and learning guys and, you know, traits of a narcissist and things of that nature. I'm going to actually be doing a series talking about men, because I feel like a lot of women need to be self-aware of these damn men. And I am proof in the pudding that being that bitch and having standards and boundaries really pays off. And I feel like I can give you girlies so much advice, especially when it comes to these men. I feel like in our generation, women are just settling for anything, and they're fucking up the dating pool because they're just so accessible and easy. They don't require these niggas to run through jumps and hoops, and they need to be doing that, because if they were to do that, more men would cherish women, and more men would take women serious, and more women would be married. I don't barely see women getting engaged these days, and it's sad as hell. It's because they be letting these men play in their face, and they don't be setting standards. And I hate to say it, I'm gonna be y'all big sister, so I'm not gonna sugarcoat shit with y'all. You bitches need to get some balls, not literally, but stand on business when it comes to these men. Okay, set boundaries, be feminine about it, but also let these motherfuckers know you're not playing around, because ain't shit to play with, especially not with your heart. Be about your business and have some self-respect for you. And I promise, ladies, you will attract your husband. Okay? So, till the next time, thank you for tuning in to The Glam Effect. I love you, girlies. I want the best for y'all. And I'm going to always be a real bitch and tell you, girlies, what y'all need to hear and what y'all don't want to hear. Because I'm not going to sugarcoat shit with you. I'm proof in the pudding that you got to stand on business with these men. Okay? Till next time, girlies. And y'all, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and follow me, okay, on my social media platforms. Show y'all girls some love if y'all fucking with my content. Don't forget, real bitches do real things, and y'all gotta be real for this content to keep coming. Okay, till next time.